Hey guys, Jonathan Soda here, back again doing another movie review, and today we will be reviewing the second season of Stranger Things. Now, Stranger Things Season 2 is once again directed by Matt Duffer and Ross Duffer, and features Millie Bobby Brown, Finn Wolfhard, Gattaca Rosaro, Caleb McLaughlin, Noah Schnapp, Sadie Sink, Winona Ryder, David Harbour, Natalia Dyer, Joe Keery, Charlie Heaton, Dacre Montgomery, Sean Astin, Paul Reiser, Brett Gilman, Linnea Berthelsen, Cara Buono, Matthew Carteropol, Priya Ferguson, Catherine Curtin, Amy Mullins, and Amy Simons. Such a big cast this movie has. Like the whole Stranger Things show has a really big cast. So yeah, and the plot of Stranger Things season 2 is that it picks up like a year after the events of the first season, and Will Byers, they found Will Byers in the first season, as you all may know, and Will, excuse me, and like Will Byers, he's even. Will Byers and all of his friends were really unpopular back in the school days, but now that Will is back alive, he's even more unpopular than he was back before he was missing. Well, he's noticed, but he's too noticed though. Like he's very like known for, and they always call him Zombie Boy and all of that. And so like Will is really dramatized by the Upside Down from when he was in there, and like he can like even like he's so dramatized, and like he's so like can't stop thinking about the Upside Down that like he can even see what's going on in the Upside Down. Like he has the ability to see what's in the Upside Down, and then he sees this large big thing in the sky called the Mind Flayer. So yeah, and then like he can feel what the Mind Flayer feels like. It feels like it wants to destroy not only him but everyone else. He just feels evil in that thing. So yeah, what else was I gonna say? So yeah, he feels evil with the Mind Flayer, and then yeah, and so we follow with Mike, who is really like sad about like Eleven dying because he thinks Eleven died in the first season when she when she destroyed the Demogorgon. So yeah, and then like yeah, we just follow with him being all sad about it, and him like every day trying to talk to Eleven through his walkie. So yeah, and he's just still really good friends with Will and Dustin and Lucas and all of them. So yeah, and then like. And then after that, we follow with we follow with what's her name? Let me think. We follow with these new characters, these new set of characters named Max and Billy. So yeah, Billy Hargrove and Max. I forgot her last name, but I think it was Kayfield or something like that. But like they both have different last names because like they're both like they're not really brother and sister. They're like step brother and sister. So yeah. So them two like they have just moved into Hawkins, and like Max is like a girl, and like she goes to Hawkins Middle School with Lucas, Dustin, Mike, and Will, and like they all like they all really notice her because like earlier in the first episode like they noticed that someone beat Dustin's high score, which who was Mad Max, and so like they're kind of like stalking Max because like they're seeing how cool she is and all of that, and if she's really Mad Max and all of that. So yeah, and then later on like they then start becoming friends with Max too. So yeah. But like not but like they become friends with her, but they can't like not really, not fully though, because of the stuff that happened in the first season. They don't want to tell her that because they think she'll be scared or like she'll be in danger or something like that. So yeah, and then we follow with Billy, who's like this really buff man. He's a really buff dude. He goes to Hawkins High School with Nancy, Steve, and Jonathan. So yeah, and he becomes the newest cool person. He becomes the newest popular man in Hawkins High School instead of Steve. So yeah. So yeah, and like he's a really big jerk to Max. He's a really big jerk to Max. Well, I don't know why I did that. He's a really big jerk to Max, and like he just doesn't let her do anything, and like he's just a really big jerk to her. And like in school, like a lot of people notice him, and a lot of girls like him, and all of that. So yeah, and like and yeah, that's Billy, and then we follow with and then we follow with Nancy, who is like really like depressed from the not depressed, a little depressed from the not all of the events from the first season, but like all the stuff with Barb and all of that, and all the stuff that Barb is dead and all of that. Like she was really sad. She's still really sad about it, and like her parents don't know that Barb was taken to the Upside Down and eaten by a Demogorgon, and like Nancy just feels really sad for them because like the parents are gonna like spend all the rest of their life trying to look for Barb because they think Barb ran away. So yeah, so they're gonna spend all their money and all their life allowances to look for Barb. So yeah, and like Nancy just feels really bad for them. Let me think. So yeah, we follow with her, and like she's still with Steve too. Like she's like her and Steve are still dating, but like she's just always depressed about that. She just really still misses Barb. So yeah, and then like her and Jonathan like are friends, but they're not like close as they were in the first season. Like they barely even talk with each other. Like they do, but like not like as much as you'd expect. So yeah, yeah. So like she's just really traumatized from like Barb dying. So yeah, and like later on she wants to tell she wants to like tell Barb's parents about Barb, the truth about Barb, but then like the owners of Hawkins like know she's doing it, and like they stop her for it, and then like after that that gives Nancy the idea to burn to like put Hawkins Lab out of business. So yeah, she goes to Chicago to this man named what was his name? Murray. Yeah, she goes to this man named Murray to like print out a tape of Hawkins Lab of the new owner saying like the people responsible for the loss of your friend they're gone. So yeah, and like she recorded a tape while he said that in her pocket. So yeah, so she's trying to print it out to make the Hawkins Lab go out of business. So yeah, and then let me think, and then we follow with Will's mom. What's her name? Joyce. We follow with Joyce now, and like Joyce is just like is really protective on Will now. Like everyone's protective on Will. Like I forgot to mention that Will, like everyone is protective on Will now. That like Will is like the most like they like all his friends and like everyone he's around with like are really keeping an eye on him because they think he can't do stuff because when he went missing in the underworld. So yeah. Yeah, so like, and then Joyce, she also has a new life too. Like Joyce has got a new boyfriend now. Like she's got this new boyfriend named Bob, who is a really chill man. He's a really chill man, and he's really good with technology and like VCR and like computer stuff and all of that. So yeah, he's really good with all of that, and he even works at a place like that. So yeah, so like she and him are like in love, and like Bob is really chill with the kids too. Like he acts like the kids are his own and all of that. So yeah, and then let me think. And then after that we follow with who else do we follow with? We follow with the owners of Hawkins. The other owners of Hawkins from the first season, they died from when the Demogorgon came to them. So yeah, and like there are new people who own Hawkins Lab now, but like they're not as like crazy about the town as the other ones were. But they still like experiment on the gate and all of that. The gate is still there and all of that, and like they just still like do experiments on it. And then like they always have Will go to them whenever like Will's having episodes of when he's seeing the Upside Down and all of that. So yeah, so like Hawkins Lab is like the greatest place for like Will's like episodes that he has. So yeah, and then we follow with let me think, who else do we follow with? Is there anyone else? Yeah, and then we follow with 11. 11's alive now. 11, she didn't die in the first season. When she killed the Demogorgon, it just teleported her to the Upside Down, and then as soon as she was in the Upside Down, she was able to get out from the same gate that the Demogorgon used to kill the Hawkins owner. So yeah, so she gets out. She gets out of it, and then like since then like she's been hiding from Hawkins Lab and all of that, and having everyone not know she's there, including Mike and all of them. So yeah, but the only person to like find her after a couple months later is Hopper. Hopper finds Eleven, and then like he keeps her like as his own like adopted daughter, and like he keeps her in this like old cabin that he used to own. So yeah, he just keeps her there, and like he keeps her a secret to everyone, like so everyone will know who so everyone will know that she's alive, because if Hawkins Lab knows, they'll take her back and continue experimenting on her. So yeah, so like he's just really protective on her, to not let anyone know about her, not even Lucas or Mike or any of them to know about her besides him. So yeah, and then 11, like when she's staying there, she really wants to go and talk to Mike. Like she really wants to go out to the world and talk to Mike, but Hopper's like not letting her and all of that, and like but Hopper keeps saying like soon you'll be able to go out into the world, and she's like when soon and all of that. So yeah, and like she's 11's even been counting days, how many days she's been in that cabin without no one knowing where she is, like if she's a prisoner. So yeah, and like just Hopper and Elle have like this father and daughter relationship going on. So yeah, and then like he's always cooking her food and all of that, and like letting her watch TV and all of that. So yeah, that's 11 in this series, in this TV show. And then later on, like she tries to she tries to like leave, and like she tries to go to her other relatives, like her mother and all of that, and then she ends up finding out that her mother is in shock, and like why her mother was in shock and all of that, because of when she gave birth to 11, and like she wanted to go back for her in Hawkins Lab, like they captured her and they electrocuted her on her head. So yeah. So yeah, and then from that point on, like 11 like is gonna go to 11's mom was basically telling her like please go to your older sister, live with your older sister. So yeah, and like so like then she ends up going to Chicago, where her older sister is at, and like she tries to live there. So yeah, I think that's the whole plot of Stranger Things season 2. Now, do I like Stranger Things season 2? Yes, I love Stranger Things season 2, but it is arguably, I think, to everyone actually the weakest out of the Stranger Things trilogy, myself included. But that's not a bad thing. It's still a really, really good season actually. The one thing that really makes the season flop, like the one thing that like made the season flop so much, was the whole thing about 11 and her sister. Like 11 and her sister, like the episode with her with them like just felt really forced actually. Like it just felt really forced in there actually. Like it just felt very forced and very rushed in there. Like and what that episode just feels like a completely different movie actually. Like it does not feel like Stranger Things at all, that episode. It feels like a different, it feels like a different TV show about like these criminals with powers. That's what it feels like. It does not feel like Stranger Things at all. Like that episode is definitely like the worst episode in all of Stranger Things. So yeah, like it just feels very forced, very shoehorned in there. So yeah, it just really did not serve a full purpose to the season at all. Like with all the stuff that was going on, this did not serve a full purpose at all. Like literally, like you could have easily taken this whole plot point out, like easily remove it, and then it would have made the season like 5 times better. So yeah, like you could have just completely removed that. They completely shouldn't have done that. So yeah, that's definitely like my biggest and only flaw with this season. So yeah, but other than that, this season is amazing. I love this season actually. I would have loved it more than season 1 if the whole sister thing wasn't in it, but I still really love it, and I enjoy it actually a little more than season 1 actually. Just not when it gets to the sister thing, because that whole part is kind of boring in my opinion. So yeah, but like all this stuff other than that, like with like Will and all of that, and the Mind Flayer, and like the demo dog is just really cool. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention when we focus on Dustin, when we focus on Dustin, like we find out that like he's been keeping like this baby Demogorgon in like in his possession. Like he found him in his garbage can, and so like he's been studying off him, like what is this thing and all of that, because like he doesn't know it's a baby Demogorgon yet. He just thinks it's like a new species he found out. So yeah, he's just like been studying off him, and then like he even tells his friends about him, and then he calls it D'Artagnan. So yeah, I really like that whole thing with him and D'Artagnan, and like D'Artagnan kind of becoming his pet. So yeah, that was really cool. So yeah, let me think. Let me think. Is there anything else? Yeah. I really like Mike's character in this movie. Like Mike was really cool in this movie. Like he was really protective on Will. Like whenever Will would have his episodes, he would just be right on his side, and he was the one that cared for Will the most out of all his friends. So yeah, and that was really cool. Like he really cared for Will, and like he even like took him home, took him to his house and for like his brother to pick him up. So yeah, and like he even like stays at his house, and like he leaves his friends so like he can see what's up with Will and all of that, and like protect him. So yeah, Mike was really cool in this movie with Will and all of that, and like being sad about Eleven dying. So yeah, and I also but the one thing I don't like about him is like I think he's too much of a jerk to Max actually, because Max is just this girl who's just moved into Hawkins who doesn't have any friends. So like her, Dustin, Lucas, and Will are the closest things she has to friends. But I thought he was just being too mean to her, because like he was just saying like, hey, you're not a part of our party, okay? This is our party. You're not a part of it. Just leave. Just go. I don't want anything to do with you. You're not a part of our party. Just go. Just fuck off. Like that's literally his character with Max right there. And I thought he was just being too harsh on Max actually. He could have at least just gave her a chance actually. She was just a new girl that moved into the town. So yeah, I just felt like he was being too harsh on Max, but like all the stuff with him and Will were really cool. So yeah, and him with all his friends too was really cool too. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else I should talk about? Oh yeah, I really like Lucas in this season. Like Lucas, like he's the one who really wants Max into the group, and like yeah, and like he's the one that likes Max the most. Actually, he's the one that like you. He's the only one that feels like he could trust Max. So yeah, I really like that about Lucas. So yeah, and I think hold up, I'll get to that once I talk about Max. So yeah, and Lucas was a lot was like really chill in this season actually. So yeah, and I just love how like he's just like always accompanying his friends and all of that, and like just like I just really love how he loves Max so much. So yeah, let me think. Yeah, and let me think. I really like Will. Yeah, I talked about Will earlier. I really like him too. Like he was really upgraded in the season. Like in the first season, he didn't really do much besides be a huge point to the plot. But here, he actually becomes a full-on character and a full-on plot to the season, and that's what really improved Will's character even more. So yeah, I really liked Will in this movie, and I just love how like you can see the Mind Flayer and all of that, and like later on, the Mind Flayer even like the Mind Flayer like even like puts a piece of him like inside Will, and like so Will can become a part of what he is. So yeah, and that was really cool actually, having Will be a part of the Mind Flayer. So yeah, and that was just really scary too, and like Will losing his memory and all of that, and him like becoming a part of him and not wanting like hot water and all of that. So yeah, Will was really cool in this season. So yeah, and I love all the scenes with him, like with his drawings too, like what he's seeing in the Upside Down are like these paths to the Upside Down, like these paths that the Demogorgons will take on, the new Demodog. So yeah, like I love all the scenes with just him like scribbling, and then like he just like tapes it, like his parents like help him tape it all over the house, and like it's just this whole road of paintings all over the house. So yeah, that was really cool too. So yeah, so yeah, Will was just really cool in this season. So yeah, Max was really cool actually. I actually really love Max in this season. I think Max was probably my favorite character in this season actually. She was really cool. Yeah, I just love how like she's just like this girl who's like moving to Hawkins from California because of the stuff that happened to her at California. Like she had a dad, but then like the dad the dad broke up with the mom, and like Max really misses her dad, and like her mom just always says that like maybe the dad might be the bad person, might be like the bad person and all of that, but like she just really misses her dad, and like once like her mom like fell in love with Billy's dad, like she didn't like being with Billy. Like Billy was always a jerk to her, but like I'll get more to that once I talk about Billy. So yeah, I just love how like she's just like like she's just a target for her older brother. So yeah, she was really cool, and like I just love how like she just wants new friends now. Like now that she's been introduced to these kids, she wants to hang out with them more now. So yeah, she was really cool in this movie, and I love like all the scenes with her skateboarding. All those scenes were really cool. So yeah, and she was really cool skateboarding. So yeah. Let me think. I love all the scenes with her playing in the arcade too. Her playing Dig Dug in the arcade. So yeah, I love those scenes so much, and I love all the scenes with her, Lucas, Mike, Will, and Dustin. So yeah, and I love how like how like she's really confused on what Dart is too. So yeah, and like and I just love how like in the beginning like they're trying to like keep her safe by not telling her everything about what happened in the other season. So yeah, and I just love how like they think like that she's shutting them out and all of that that like they're being like mean to her, and like they're like just shutting her out and like not doing and like treating her like garbage. So yeah, I just really love that about her so much. So yeah. So yeah, and like she was a really cool plot point, and later on her and like her and Lucas like have a thing going on, and that was really cool too. So yeah, and I love how like let me think yeah, I just love how like she's just like the cooler one in the group. So yeah, let me think. Let me think. Is there anything else about Max I should say? Oh yeah, I love how later on Lucas like tells Max about like everything that happened back then, but at first she doesn't believe him, and then she's like, but then like as when Lucas like covers her mouth and all of that, she's just like, are you serious? Oh wait, that scene was actually really funny actually, cause like when like she told her everything, it was in the back of the arcade. Like the manager was like was like and like the manager let them like talk in the back room, and then he was like before he closed the door he was just like, and be sure to keep things PG in here, okay? Yeah, that was really funny. So yeah, but as I was saying about Lucas telling the stuff about Max, I just love how she doesn't like believe him at first, but then like later on like Lucas. But then later on, like Lucas is like shushing her and all of that, and like she even like brings her to like the place where Dart is and all of that. So yeah. And what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I love how like when Max leaves that place, like she once Max leaves that place, she just like leaves, and she just like Billy's just like who's that kid, and she's like it's no one, it's just Lucas, and he's like, oh, so he has a name now, and she's just like, oh no, he's no one, he's just a friend, and then she's like, don't lie to me, and she's like, I'm not lying to you. And he's like, okay. So yeah, and like yeah, that scene was really cool too. So yeah, and I just love like when Max was crying when she thought the kid shut her out. So yeah, in episode 4. So yeah, and I love how like they have Max be a part of the party by having her invite her to do the stuff with Dart and all the demo dogs. So yeah, let me think. Yeah, Joyce was really cool in this movie. I really liked her too. Joyce really had a big character arc in here, so yeah, and I just love how protective she is on Will and all of that, so yeah, and I love her boyfriend Bob. He was really cool. Like I love Bob actually. I just love how chill he is. Like I just love how chill Bob is. Bob, my mom is actually single, but like all I wished for was just for my mom to have a boyfriend that's exactly like Bob, and she never had. They were all just mean. So yeah, and like so like I've just always wanted her to have a boyfriend like Bob. So yeah, Bob is just really chilling this season. Like he's just the most chillest character in all of Stranger Things. So yeah, I just love how much he's in love with Joyce and all of that, and like how much like he's like treating like the kids as if they're his kids, and like always like being protective on Will and all that, but not as much as Joyce, just being chill about it. So yeah. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I love how like he joins them with like the underground stuff, and like he even solves the puzzle of like the whole path of the upside down. So yeah, and and I just love how like when he first goes inside the upside down, he's just like, wait, are we in Will's map? Are we in Will's map? How did he figure this out? Yeah, just Bob was really funny in this season too. So yeah, just Bob was just an amazing character in this season. So yeah, let me think. I really liked Hopper in the season. I love how protective he was on 11 on L. You can really see how protective he is on L. Like how protective like how much he loves L, how much he doesn't want anyone knowing, like how much he doesn't want L to be experimented on again, because he had found out all about Elle before he met her in the other season. So yeah, and yeah, I just love how protective he is on Elle. So yeah. And I love how like he helps Joyce and all of them like with the Demogorgon stuff, but without but without not having Elle know. So yeah, yeah, Hopper was just really cool in the season once again. So yeah, I really like Nancy in this season. You can really buy her character so much that like she feels like she killed Barb and all of that. So yeah, and I love that scene where she got drunk in the party with Steve. So yeah, let me think. Yeah, so like she was really cool, and like I love all the scenes with her and Jonathan, and I love how her and Jonathan like actually end up falling in love in this season, and yeah, that was really cool. That was really cool for them to fall in love because I always wanted them to fall in love ever since the first season, and I just love that scene where they fall in love. It was kind of funny how they fell in love with Murray and all of that, like always telling them like, hey, you're wrong. Like we don't love Steve. We like Steve, but we don't love him and all of that. Like, just express your full feelings for each other. Just take one bet and just get it over and done with. Yeah, Murray was a really cool character too. I loved him a lot too. So yeah, and what else was I gonna say? Yeah, Nancy was just really cool. You could really buy her character that she really wants to burn Hawkins' lab to the ground and really copy the tape with Murray and all of that. So yeah, and Steve was really upgraded in this movie. Steve was actually more nicer to Nancy than he ever was in the first season. So yeah, and he was more chill than he was in the first season. So yeah, and I just love how like he doesn't care about being popular and all of that. He just cares about Nancy. So yeah, and I love how later on he helps Dustin, Lucas, and Max with the Demogorgon stuff and the Upside Down stuff. So yeah, that was really cool too. So yeah, he just helps them and like he becomes a really good bodyguard for them. So yeah, and like I just love how like he always just defends the kids and all of that and acts like they're his own siblings and all of that. So yeah, like he was just really cool in this movie. So in the season. So yeah, and I love how he always gives Dustin tips on how we should get Max and all of that, how we should get the girl and all of that. So with Farrah Fawcett spray. So yeah, I loved Steve even more in this season. So yeah. And Jonathan, I really liked him a lot too. I just loved how he helped Nancy with the copying the tape and all of that. So yeah, yeah. Billy was a really cool character too. Like Billy was sort of the human antagonist of this movie, or sorta. And I really loved him a lot. And I love how he would pull all his rage on Max because of like he feels as because he does not want to pull his rage on on Max's mom because like Max's mom is the reason why his mom left his dad. So yeah, like instead of him pulling his rage on her, he pulls it on Max. So yeah, and that was really cool. And I just love how like he becomes the newest popular kid in Hawkins High. So yeah, and he was really cool. And I love all the scenes with him and Steve. Like he's just like always telling Steve like, you know, there's cuter chicks out there. He's just like always like being cocky around Steve. Like Steve, I'm better than you. I'm better than you ever were. So yeah, I love those scenes so much. And I love in the end where like he actually like wants to like he really wants to I'll get to that in a bit. So yeah, Billy was just a really cool character in this movie. I really like the new owners of Hawkins Lab. They were cool too. They were much better than the owners of Hawkins Lab in the first season. So yeah, and they actually become good. Like these owners are actually good in this season. So yeah, that's what I really love about it too. So yeah. Murray was a really funny character. The one that helps Nancy and Jonathan like copy the tape. So yeah, he was really funny in this season. So yeah, he was just a really cool character too. So yeah, he was just really funny in all the scenes he was in. And I love how Billy like wanted to like beat up Max, but then like Steve was just protecting her and all of that. So yeah. To rate this season, I'll definitely I'll rate it an A plus still. Yeah, I'll still rate it an A plus even though for the sister thing. Yeah. Bye.